What is going on, everyone? It is Super here, and welcome to another Injustice 2 video. So, as you guys know, I've been making quite a few Injustice 2 videos because Ed Boon, over the last, I would probably say like 4 days, has really been answering a lot of fan questions, you know, sort of reviving the hype for Injustice 2, and a lot of people are very excited, especially with the recent tweets coming from him talking about polls, you know, asking fans which guest characters they want to see, Mortal Kombat characters and non-Mortal Kombat characters, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about that right now, and also you know, giving hints towards characters. So it's been really fun just looking at his timeline and seeing all his responses to people deconfirming characters, confirming characters, or not confirming, sorry, that's the wrong word, hinting at characters. But here we go. All right, so first I want to talk a little bit about the polls that he had yesterday. It looks like Sub-Zero won the most, he was the most voted character for the MK guest character, fan voted, and the one who actually got almost double the votes of the MK guest characters was the non-MK guest characters, who the poll was won by Spawn. The choices were Spawn, Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, Hellboy, and Terminator. And surprisingly, Terminator was dead last, but not surprisingly, Spawn won by a pretty good amount. And you know, just Ed Boon was let's see, almost 30,000 of you let us know that you want to see Spawn in Injustice 2. Are you sure? With a winky face. Oh Ed, oh Ed. And he teased some more, you know, pretty much, where's this tweet asking, really, you want this guy? And it's like a little gif of Spawn from the movie. I think it came out in '97, if I'm not mistaken. I remember going to watch the Spawn movie, the live action Spawn movie, with my dad and brother way back in the day. And I know some people don't like the movie that much, and there are, you know, there's a fan base for the movie, including myself. I personally like the movie. It's cheesy as fuck because it was in the 90s, you know. So I personally like it because I grew up in the 90s. I grew up watching these cheesy movies that a lot of people, you know, might not enjoy, but I actually enjoy them, including the Spawn movie. So, you know, that's where my love of Spawn came from. And then, of course, you know, did more research about him from the comic books, etc. You know, he's been tweeting out many tweets about Spawn. I'll be putting them on the screen, of course, so you guys can see his tweets. And when Ed Boon does this, guys, I know Ed Boon is a troll and everything, but when he tweets a lot about one specific character, it's usually a good indication that that character is going to be in the game. I'll give you guys a couple of examples here. When Combat Pack 1 was first, you know, I guess it was being teased and talked about, Ed Boon was tweeting a lot about Predator. Even before that, like months before Mortal Kombat X came out, you know, when it was being promoted and stuff, and people knew that there were going to be guest characters, Ed Boon kept tweeting a lot about Predator. And the same thing happened with Combat Pack number 2. You know, Aliens, not only is it, I believe he said it was his favorite movie of all time, Aliens. He was tweeting a lot about Alien leading up to Combat Pack 2, and guess what? Alien, or Xenomorph, was in Combat Pack 2, so I have no doubt in my mind that we're finally going to be seeing Spawn in another Realm game. I know a lot of us really wanted him in Mortal Kombat X, and it would be cool because, of course, you know, fatalities, brutalities especially, which I'm sure they're going to carry over to MK11, but it would make sense for Spawn to be in a comic book game, or a game based off comic book characters, you know what I mean? So Spawn would fit very well in the Injustice game. Oh my god, I cannot wait to see what his moveset is going to look like. They better make, you know, do Spawn justice, because I really want him to be a top tier. I want him to be insanely good, and I'm sure he's gonna look good. So Spawn is almost guaranteed, in my opinion. But let's look at some of these other tweets. First one up here, someone asked, please can you add Amazo in Injustice 2? And classic Ed Boon troll says, Amaze, no. So there you go, Amazo is deconfirmed. There's also someone else asking if we're gonna see Superboy in Injustice 2, and then Ed replied saying that you're gonna be disappointed. And I'm sure there's gonna be references to Superboy in Superman's gear system, or gear you know, outfits. There's going to be a lot of guest characters coming up in the gear for many different characters. For example, I'll give you one right here. Someone tweeted at him saying, please give us a Bizarro skin. For you guys who don't know who Bizarro is, he's pretty much like the exact opposite of Superman. Like even the S and everything is pretty much the opposite of Superman. And the guy tweeted, please give us a Bizarro skin for Superman. Is that too much to ask? And Ed Boon replied saying, that's reasonable. So I definitely could expect, or we should definitely expect, a Bizarro nod as one of the gear costumes for Superman coming up here in Injustice 2. Another tweet goes, Mr. Boon, is it our fate to know about the Doctor? And of course, the guy is giving a little nod, you know, Dr. Fate, give us something about that. And Ed Boon replies saying, Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of fears. I think it's a song lyrics, but, you know, pretty much giving a little hint at Dr. Fate. And we know Dr. Fate is going to be in the game because of his helmet icon being in the official like Injustice shirt, showing off different icons like Batman, Harley Quinn. Captain Cold's gun is actually in there, so that's another character that we haven't seen yet, but we know is going to be in the game via his character icon being in that shirt. I'll probably put it up on the screen so you guys can check it out. Dr. Fate's helmet is all the way to the bottom left, if I'm not mistaken. So moving on here, and this is a tweet that a lot of people are going to be happy about, not only for the possibility of Catwoman, but also a possibility for Poison Ivy to complete the Gotham City Sirens. So the tweet goes, please don't forget about Catwoman, and Ed Boon replied saying, we shan't. So very, very, very strong possibility that Catwoman can be in the game. And I think if Catwoman, and of course Harley Quinn is already in the game, if Catwoman returns to Injustice 2, I am 100% confident that they're not going to pass up the opportunity again to have Poison Ivy in a Injustice game to complete the Gotham City Sirens. There's no way they missed that opportunity in the first Injustice game. I'm sure there was an upcry about it. I wasn't really playing Injustice or fighting games back in 2013 when Injustice came out, but I'm sure there were people very vocal about the fact that Poison Ivy didn't make it. So I'm sure that if Catwoman returns, there's no way that Poison Ivy is not going to be in Injustice 2. So last tweet here is very interesting, and the reason I say this is because we're talking about more guest characters, and you know, it's pretty safe to say that we're gonna have more than one non-Mortal Kombat guest character. Whether we're gonna have, you know, multiple Mortal Kombat guest characters, that's yet to be determined. I know we're gonna have one for sure, and that's probably gonna be Sub-Zero, the number one. Whether we're gonna have two Mortal Kombat guest characters, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I can guarantee you that there will not be only one non-Mortal Kombat guest character. We're gonna have at least 2 or 3, possibly even 4. You know, the same as, you know, what am I saying? We're definitely gonna have at least 3 or 4. And then if it goes beyond that, I don't know, because I know that NetherRealm is gonna support Injustice 2 beyond what they supported Mortal Kombat as far as content. So whether Injustice 2 is going to get like 3 combat packs. Let's just call it combat packs. They're not going to be called that for an Injustice game, but let's just call it combat packs. Mortal Kombat got 2 combat packs, 2 guest characters in each combat pack, and then, you know, the 2 regular Mortal Kombat characters. So if Injustice 2 has 3 combat packs, you know, with a pair of 4 in each combat pack, we're going to be left with more guest characters than there was in Mortal Kombat. And it's already been said by Ed Boon that the Injustice 2 roster is going to be the biggest that they've had. So I'm definitely looking forward to see which guest characters are going to be in it. And, you know, back to the tweet right here, someone asked, or someone replied to Ed Boon's tweet talking about Spawn and the 30,000 votes. He replied saying, no, we want Hellboy, wrong character. And then Ed Boon replied saying, what about both? Hey, we could throw both in there. Why not? why don't you want both characters? That would be cool, right? So I think that Hellboy has a really strong chance of making it. You know, it's crazy. I never thought that Hellboy would be a guest character for an Injustice game, but you know, he would definitely fit in perfectly. He could have a really unique playstyle and moveset, and obviously, you know, just the same thing with Spawn and any character. They're gonna make them look awesome. So those are the updated tweets from Ed Boon. Any other like character references and, you know, character teases or just news in general about Injustice 2, I'll be sure to make some more videos for you guys. And I'm gonna be making a Spawn like costume video, the same that I did with the Flash, Harley Quinn, Batman, Superman. I'm gonna be making like top 10 costumes that I want to see in Spawn's gear system, or gear. I'm just gonna call it gear system. I don't know why I call it gear system. It's just the top 10 costumes I want to see in Spawn's gear. There you go. All right, so I hope you guys look forward to that, and I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. What's going on, guys? It's Super here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys subscribe or check out any of these videos linked at the top. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.